For regular videos on ancient cultures and forgotten civilizations, please subscribe.
The Sphinx, guardian of the Giza necropolis, is the oldest colossal sculpture found in Egypt. The Egyptians would not carve statues of these proportions again until the New Kingdom. But it probably wasn't the first Sphinx. At Abu Rawash, the head of King Jedefra, carved in dark purple quartzite, was found. Near the back of the head, you can see the beginnings of a lion body. It may be older than this one, though even earlier sphinxes could still be found. It shows at the very least that the classic design of a king's head with a lion's body was current in the 4th dynasty. Could the Sphinx be older than the 4th dynasty? Knowledge of the geological history of the area can assist us. It could not have been carved during the Green Sahara period, which lasted from about 12,000 years ago to about 5,500 years ago. The Sphinx is on the Nile floodplain, and during this period, the Nile was higher than it is today. The Sphinx enclosure would have been flooded. That means it could only have been carved during a desert Sahara period, when the area was dry. That leaves us with two choices, either before 12,000 years ago or after 5,500 years ago. But we can eliminate the earlier dry period for a very important reason. In the wet period that followed, the river would have been powerful enough to clear anything in its path. The Sphinx could not have survived. Since the Sphinx is still standing, then it must have been carved after 5,500 years ago, that is, after 3,500 BCE. And since this area was being quarried during the 4th dynasty, the Sphinx is likely a product of the 4th dynasty. Why is the head in so much better shape than the body? That is because the Sphinx is carved from 3 different types of limestone. The head is from what we call member 3 limestone, and it is harder and more durable. The body is made from member 2 limestone, which is soft and crumbly, and the base is made from member 1 limestone, which is a petrified shoal and coral reef. It is of higher quality than the member 2. But the Egyptians did not choose these limestone components. It is part of the natural landscape. You see, the Giza Plateau has a plate of limestone called the Mokattem Formation, and it has 3 layers, which in this area is on a diagonal. The limestone where the head is was ideal for carving. It also happens to be the limestone that was quarried to construct the Great Pyramid. The limestone at the bottom of the Sphinx also was decent. The limestone you see on the body was far less desirable. Archaeologists are divided on whether the masonry around the Sphinx was original to the sculpture or not. I am in the camp that thinks it was original. Geologist Robert Schneiker and I are working on an academic paper about this. I will share the contents with you when we are done, but suffice it to say for now, we think the lower quality limestone of the Sphinx's body had a casing, just as the lower quality limestone of the temples had a casing. Many people have noticed that the Sphinx's head is not in proper proportion to the body, and some have supposed that the Sphinx may originally have had a bigger, non-human head that fit the body properly, but that it got recarved later and now it's too small. My 2 immediate thoughts about this are, 1, the Sphinx look, with a human head on a lion's body, seems already to have been standard by the time of the Old Kingdom. And 2, if the small head was thought to be good enough at a later time, why couldn't it have been thought to be good enough originally? Anyway, if the head had once been that of a lion or a jackal, as some have suggested, it would have been too heavy on the front, and the neck would not have been able to support it. Robert Schneiker has observed that the Sphinx is crisscrossed with bedrock fractures, and the head was carved from a fracture-free section of limited scope. The facial features were designed to fall on natural bedding planes within the limestone. The fractures prevented the sculptors from making it any larger. So it is more accurate to say that the body is too big for the head than that the head is too small for the body. Therefore, an explanation is needed for the size of the body. Huge fissures can be seen in the members 1 and 2 limestone layers. A big one runs right across the thinnest part of the Sphinx's body. When the Egyptians discovered this, they realized they couldn't finish off the rear of the Sphinx as planned, so they elongated the body to compensate for it. On the positive side, this allowed them to carve the lower sections of the rear paws out of the higher quality Member 1 limestone. When they covered the body with masonry, they filled and covered the fissure as well.